In a twist, Max Verstappen has made a shocking statement that has sent Red Bull into a full-blown crisis. His comments about the team's performance and future plans have left fans and experts reeling. This news could change everything, with Red Bull facing unexpected challenges and fierce competition. So, let's dive into this video today to uncover what Verstappen said and how it's shaking up the Formula One world. When Red Bull unveiled their RB20 for preseason testing in Bahrain, there were clear scenes. They meeked dominate the 2023 season. The car's impressive performance hinted at another year of Red Bull superiority. Fast forward 4 months, and the competitive landscape has shifted dramatically. Mercedes has finally optimized their ground effect car with significant enhancements, and McLaren continues its strong development trajectory. Ferrari, despite struggling with its current upgrade package, remains competitive on tracks suited to their SF24. The last 7 Grand Prix have seen 5 drivers from 4 teams take the top spot. This diversity is excellent news for Formula One fans, promising an exciting second half of the 2024 season. However, it spells trouble for Red Bull, whose dominance has waned. Red Bull's substantial advantage at the beginning of 2024 has eroded. This decline raises concerns about the future of their star driver, Max Verstappen, who may be considering a move to a team with less internal conflict. Red Bull's underperformance could lead to significant issues if they cannot regain their earlier form. The competition is intensifying, and Red Bull must address their challenges swiftly to stay ahead. Max Verstappen remains confident in Red Bull's potential, despite concerns about diminishing gains and performance convergence. He believes they have not yet reached the performance limit of their ground effect aerodynamic RB cars. Led by Adrian Newey, Red Bull won 38 of 44 Grand Prix in the first 2 seasons under the new technical regulations, setting a high bar for success. This season, Red Bull's domination has faced a significant setback. Midway through the season, they have only won 7 of 12 races, while Ferrari, McLaren and Mercedes have all secured victories. Red Bull's team principal, Christian Horner, acknowledged the challenge. "It's no secret that we have less development time than the others, and we're at the top of the curve, so you're into diminishing returns." However, he added, "There's stuff that we have in the pipeline that while we are at the top of the curve, there are still gains to be had." Verstappen is optimistic about these upcoming gains. A significant upgrade package is expected for the next race in Hungary, which could be crucial in maintaining Red Bull's competitiveness in the second half of the season. When questioned about whether Red Bull had reached the peak of their performance, Helmut Marko noted a marginal improvement of just 0.5 of a second from the RB20's Silverstone modifications. In response, reigning world champion Max Verstappen rejected the idea of complacency. He stated, "I refuse to accept it because otherwise you get lazy." Verstappen expressed full confidence in the team's efforts at the factory, highlighting their continuous hard work to enhance the car's performance. Verstappen acknowledged that other teams are also making significant strides in development. The Dutch driver emphasized the field's competitiveness, noting that many smart individuals are working tirelessly in rival teams. He also addressed the impact of the aerodynamic testing regulations on Red Bull's performance. As of June 30th, following Red Bull's first-place finish in the Constructors' Championship, the team faces a mid-year reset in aerodynamic testing regulations. This reset means Red Bull will have less testing time than its competitors. Due to their standings, Ferrari, McLaren and Mercedes are expected to benefit from increased ATR time. Verstappen commented on this situation. "Having more time would obviously help us, but that's how the rules are made. They try to slow down the leading team." He added, "When you're in the position of the fighter, you're happy that it's like that, and when you're on the other side, that's not how you want it to be. But that's how the rules are written. Everyone agrees, and you have to live with that." The rationale behind the regulations is to ensure that teams converge in performance as restrictions remain consistent. Red Bull's dominance in Formula One has faced challenges recently, primarily due to the limitations imposed by the current regulations and reduced development time. As Zak Brown noted, Red Bull appears to have reached a terminal velocity, quicker than its competitors, meaning it's hit a point where further improvements yield minimal returns. The team has reached the peak of what it can extract from the current rulebook, and now it's experiencing diminishing returns on its performance. Christian Horner, Red Bull's team principal, acknowledged this situation, agreeing with Brown's assessment. He admitted that Red Bull's limited development time compared to other teams contributes to this plateau. "It's no secret that we have less development time than the others, and we're at the top of the curve, so you're into diminishing returns," Horner remarked. Max Verstappen, however, remains determined and refuses to accept a decline in performance. He pushes his team to keep striving for improvements rather than settling into their current position. Verstappen emphasized that accepting a drop in performance would mean falling behind in both the remainder of the 2024 season and into the 2025 season. "I don't think settling for less is normal," he said. "We have to keep working hard. If we think this is normal, people will overtake us. I work with the engineers to push for updates to come earlier." As the season progresses and teams shift their focus to 2025 cars, Red Bull faces the challenge of maintaining their competitive edge. The RB20, while initially providing a decisive lead, has seen its gains become less pronounced. Despite the impressive performance initially, the most significant advancements were made early in the season. Further, as the 2024 season progresses, Red Bull faces significant challenges in extracting further performance from their car. Chief Engineer Paul Monahan has indicated that the team might be approaching the limits of the current regulations. This means that Red Bull is finding it increasingly difficult to make significant improvements as their development curve is starting to flatten. The team's ability to push boundaries diminishes, leading to smaller and less impactful gains. With Red Bull's development curve plateauing, other teams are seizing the opportunity to catch up. These competitors benefit from building on innovations pioneered by Red Bull and making larger strides in their development. If these teams discover advancements that Red Bull hasn't, they can gain an advantage, especially at certain tracks. Despite these challenges, Christian Horner remains optimistic about Red Bull's prospects. He believes the changes being developed will still provide a competitive edge, although improvements are now down to the smallest details. "I think there are still gains to be had, even if we are at the top of the curve," Horner stated. "As the grid closes up, the fine details make the difference." Determining Red Bull's exact standing has become more complex due to various factors. Difficult circuits, which have traditionally been Red Bull's weak spots, have made the RB20 appear less competitive than it actually is. For example, while Red Bull struggled on some challenging tracks, McLaren performed impressively during one-lap qualifying in Barcelona. However, Red Bull's advantage was evident in Austria, where Max Verstappen secured pole position with a substantial margin of 0.4 seconds. This performance showcased Red Bull's potential, but during the race their advantage diminished against McLaren, illustrating how track-specific conditions can affect outcomes. At Silverstone, McLaren and Mercedes appeared to have a slight edge over Red Bull, depending on the specific circumstances of the race. This suggests that maintaining tyre temperature and performance might be more crucial than outright speed. For instance, Mercedes showed strong performance at Silverstone, McLaren excelled last week, and Red Bull had a notable victory in Barcelona the week before. Christian Horner highlighted the variability in performance. "In Austria, we were 0.4 seconds ahead of the entire field, but in Silverstone, we would have been in the hunt for pole position if not for Verstappen's Q1 damage." Despite not having the fastest car at all times, Max Verstappen's remarkable drive in Silverstone, where he closed a 10-second gap to finish just a second behind Lewis Hamilton, showcased Red Bull's competitive spirit. Over the past 3 weeks, Max Verstappen has accumulated 51 points, outperforming Oscar Piastri, 43 points, George Russell, 42 points, and both Lewis Hamilton and Lando Norris, 40 points each. This consistent points haul, even when Red Bull is not the fastest, demonstrates the team's ability to capitalize on opportunities and manage race situations effectively. Despite not having the quickest car recently, Red Bull's success can be attributed to its strategic acumen, experienced drivers, and winning mentality. Verstappen's ability to outperform his rivals, particularly Norris, even without the best upgrades, highlights the team's depth. However, concerns remain about overall car performance and Sergio Perez's ongoing struggles in the second car. As the 2024 season progresses, Red Bull's race execution may be sufficient to secure a strong finish. However, with a new season approaching, teams will start preparing for the 2026 regulations in January 2025. The big question is whether Red Bull will remain the fastest team in the 2025 season. So what do you think of the shocking Verstappen statement that sent Red Bull into crisis? Comment below and subscribe for more.